more alike than, say, my mom and her other sisters, really. And in a good way, you know? So that was really a valuable thing for I know for my dad, but like for my mom too, because she sort of knew somebody who, I think she was sort of an inspiration. Charlotte was an inspiration for our mom, because our mom
had a hard time getting out of bed in the morning.
I remember playing at your house, and we'd be playing, and your folks were still in bed. You know?
Yeah, my mom.
I remember going over to your house on Marybrook, and I was complaining. Nobody to play with.
No.
And they said, well, you can come over here, and I spent the night in their bed with them. They were really sweet. Of course, I brought 13 animals with me, and little stuffed animals and everything, but they were just, really, it was really sweet, because I was lonely.
Oh,
Well, we spent time on that bed with them.
I was gonna say when after the accident and we were at Bill King's place out of SoCal, and I remember being in that. Kim and I both being in that bed with them in the morning, like just hanging out.
That was a neat bed.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It was huge.
Room for everybody.
Yeah.
Sunday papers, I remember long ago, in one of their big beds, always getting out the paper, reading the funnies, and just hanging out in bed Sunday morning, predominantly. Although Dad was a pilot, so Sundays weren't necessarily the day off. He'd be gone for weeks. But I think Mom tried to maintain a Sunday morning routine, which I've sort of still got with pancakes and bacon on Sunday mornings.
There's something, like, I was kind of joking this morning about how it smelled like Grandma's house with breakfast, and like I have this, they say scent is closely related, closely related to memory, but I say like breakfast is the meal most closely related to memory, comfort for me. So if the comfort food for me is breakfast, and I think that has to do a lot with Grandma's house. Like the thing I would get excited about on the way down, like, are we gonna eat pull apart? And I used to think like Grandma.
Top off.
Yeah, of course. Well, but I was under the impression that Grandma was like the sole keeper of pull apart. Like, you couldn't get it anywhere else except for Grandma's house.
You want a cinnamon pull apart? You gotta go to Charlotte.
But she would bring it. We'd spoil the crap out of us. We'd be in bed and she'd bring those tables with the legs on, and we'd have pull apart and like the most disgusting eggs ever, because like she would microwave them and they'd be all slimy. But I still have this very strong memory of the smell of breakfast at Grandma's and cinnamon and coffee, and even though I wasn't drinking the coffee, and sausage that you liked and I didn't. Breakfast was a big deal at Grandma's.
Well, apparently Grandma was letting you up with whiskey too, which I didn't realize.
Later in life.
Oh yeah, Mom liked her scotch.
Yeah. What this guy's single about?
That's so funny.
She also loved to dance.
Yes.
I know that she danced oftentimes with Jerry and at Brookdale, but I don't remember how long ago it was. I used to teach aerobics, and I remember being in our living room playing the aerobics music, and we were doing aerobics together. It's like she must have been in her 50s or something like that.
When she had hurt her shoulder, but then she said, well, I can still play with Jim. We can do Wii tennis.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
That's amazing.
How many 86-year-olds were playing Wii?
Yeah.
Well, and how old? You got her to play tennis when she was in her 90s, didn't you?
That wasn't me. I think Dad.
I thought that was you.
No, I took her.
Oh, it was you?
It was Wesley and Kim and I went with her to the
she
tennis
wanted
courts.
to,
And
But who took the video?
I
Kim
did.
took the video while Wes played tennis with her.
Because that was amazing to watch her field those
form.
balls.
Her form.
Her form was still there.
Great.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite memories is going down to Grandma's and playing tennis with her. She got me into tennis. So.
Well, miniature golf.
And miniature golf.
She was competitive.
Yeah.
And such a good sport that she could be competitive without making you feel bad.
Yeah.
used to beat us in poker and everything, and she'd always taught us that. I remember she would say, "Never let your opponent win. It's the most disrespectful thing that you can do."
What?
You should always play your hardest and
Don't
beat
let
them with
them
everything you have.
Wow.
I never heard
I
that.
never heard that either.
So that's why
Or she would say that, I don't know, I mean, I remember the saying that she would say, nothing's lost, it's just misplaced. So if you know,
Yeah.
your keys were misplaced, they weren't really lost.
Yeah.
She would say that sometimes.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
She said it a lot for a while there. No, I
Somebody else doing a camera.
You know, I saw Lance was looking at the pictures. Did Dean say if people wanted to take some?
Yes.
That you know, if you want to take
Yeah.
pictures
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, yeah.
of you, that
Yeah.
No, please, and yeah, or even just take the album. You know, this is community family property, and these we should disperse now into the next generations. And whatever's not taken, we'll keep here.
Should be uploaded to a Google Drive.
That's what I was doing.
yeah, I would
Let's
take
get this
some.
all, let's
Yeah.
get this all digital before it burns up.
Ooh.
So Susan and I actually played tennis in memory of Charlotte this morning, although I don't think our form was nearly as good as hers was when she was 90. The other thing that always makes me think of Grandma is anytime I see an elephant, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I think really gets into that universal love
loved
everything.
elephants.
And I think she really loved elephants though because she emphasized, and it was sort of like, look, elephants are like people too.
Yeah.
And they have thoughts and feelings, and that was something she really connected with. It was just part of this overall pan connection to the world and the empathy that she tossed out to all of us all the time.
Yeah, very like Eastern philosophy kind of thing. That would be like no one else in her family's like that.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's true.
Yeah, she was like the grandma version of Alan Watts, man. She had this book about the subconscious, you know, and I remember she got me into that. And just thinking, like, who in her like generation or age is like into meditation and the subconscious and like, you know, using meditation as a way to achieve your goals and your focuses and stuff like that, you know. And I always just kind of saw her as a monk in some ways, or not, like a nun, you know. She has like a sort of a Dalai Lama enlightenment about her.
She definitely had that power of positive thinking mantra. And the
I
interesting
think her father was kind of, he wasn't like Nettie, you know, he was like really interested in people. I don't know, he was much more like a gossip columnist, but I'm saying he was really interested in the world, you know, a lot more than Grandma Nettie was.
Well, what fascinated me so much about Grandma Charlotte too was just that she could have that metaphysical connection, power of positive thinking, but then also be so hyper connected to what was going on.
Yeah, right.
I don't know anybody who watched more C-SPAN.
Yeah. Or could drive.
Yeah, exactly.
The way she was a good driver for her age and stuff. She was really, well, she drove over that hill every day for, I know she was kind of competitive when I told her, well, yeah, I'm driving from San Carlos to Patterson every day. It's 180 miles round trip. She goes, no, you're not. And I go, yeah, Charlotte, I drive home. You do. But then we played a game of tennis. She won, so.
I heard she drove from San Jose over to Aptos with no brakes one time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, people do it.
Her driving kind of scared me, and maybe that was just.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and she was, you know, like this.
Yeah,
It was like, and she would drive way over to the side of the road, you know, to the right. It was like, how we always drove.
Her driving always scared me.
I know. It's the guess. And my dad was like that. You know, it's like,
My mom and Bob drove very similar.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Charlotte and Bob
most-
drove similarly.
Oh.
And Roy, too.
I never
Yeah.
drove with Roy, but
Yeah.
I drove with Bob and I drove with Mom, and I always wanted not to.
I remember driving with Roy once when he just got air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted the windows up.
Oh, yeah. I remember Roy used to go, Yeah. So I was watching it, and it was like,
He was kind of short too.
Yeah, no, so it's
yeah.
You get sick if you drive with Roy because it's like some bizarre sort of carnival ride.
he's the only adult I knew that asked me when I was 16 how my love life was. I'm 16. What's it supposed to be?
Mom loved to
Fair
laugh.
Midland.
She loved to laugh.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's something I missed later in her life because of her vocal cords, and she got very, very quiet. And I remember the laugh in Maryvale and in Ronnie Way.
Yeah.
She would laugh like that, and I always loved hearing it because I knew Mom was feeling good and things were going well. And
Yeah.
it was an adult party downstairs or whatever. And
Yeah.
that kind of went away as she got older. The laugh was muted a bit.
Oh, she got so soft, her voice.
Yeah. And all-
But she still loved the people at the beach. I mean, that's what she didn't walk on the beach. I think because she liked the ocean, but she just loved watching all the people down there and the families together. And the more crowded it was, the better for her because she got to watch it all.
You have somebody that could be like simultaneously into meditation and metaphysics and then also into politics and also into scotch and poker, and I think she kind of embodied all the different freaky people with different sides of her own personality too.
Well, and often kind of ahead of her time too. Like Ben
Yeah.
brought up the personal rapid transit PRT
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It is pretty amazing now that that's essentially what Elon Musk is now proposing with the Boring Company, just doing it all underground.
Oh wow!
We'll see if it happens, but it seems like it's moving forward. And
Did she talk
Chicago and LA and.
Did you talk about that, or did
She was
She
part
was-
of
She
it.
worked on it in
She
Santa
was super
Cruz.
active in this group trying to get personal
Like
rapid transit in.
Like a participant, like poker and
She
shit.
had
Yeah,
posters
the
up on her
RTG.
wall.
PRT.
Yeah.
PRT?
Yeah.
PRT.
They were looking into it, the city of Santa Cruz.
Yeah, they were trying to get the city of Santa Cruz to do it. And it was a little bit different. It would be up on a rail system.
Yeah.
But instead they spent the money on Highway 1 widening it,
Yeah, instead.
which has helped great if you've been to Santa Cruz.
Boy, the rush hour down there is awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
which was
Anywhere
terrible.
around the bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been through
Oh.
Petaluma recently?
Yeah, sorry to those of you who came here today and got caught in the beach traffic.
Oh, that's what that was. Yeah.
That was the beach traffic.
Well, but it was bumper to bumper going north, coming this way.
Santa Rosa both ways. Which way did? Out about. Where
Well,
did
we came down 101, but for some reason.
Wine country.
Oh.
What,
Went to wine country.
on Wednesday?
Yeah, it's more like vacation.
Is today Wednesday?
Saturday.
Sorry.
We recorded that? I think we recorded that.
That was a few days ago.
Wednesday somewhere, right?
That's the only one.
We started on Wednesday.
Yeah. Took us that long.
It's kind of that, this is one of the last hurrah weekends of summer because some kids start school on Monday.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I was like, what? We never used to have that. No, after Labor Day. Am I right? They went to school after Labor Day.
You know why they start early?
No.
Because of the testing.
That's right. Because of
Yeah.
the testing?
Yep.
What is that?
I think ski week screwed some of that.
They wanted better scores.
Yeah, and then they added ski week, which
Yeah,
we
so
never
then start
had
earlier to do
that.
that. And
It's
then
a
they took it away
winter
in most
break.
cases because
It's
it
a
started
week
early.
off in the Not Easter. No.
Any more thoughts on Charlotte?
It's not.
Traffic.
And it's a week. I think it's a teacher. And we never had that, so, okay, they had to add that on.
What's-
I know, what is that, a snowboard? That's why, I guess.
It's because of the President's Day weekends, the parents would take the kids out for a bunch anyway, and the schools wouldn't get the funding, so they're
Yeah,
like,
right.
well, we don't have our kids, so we might as well close.
Oh, so it's like,
Yeah, I guess somewhere around in
but
there.
the starting in August for school is weird.
Yeah, it does.
We have one school here starting on the 23rd, which is a Thursday. What?
Yeah, that's
They're going, kids go back to school on a Thursday. So.
Mariah starts then.
Oh, what an odd day.
I remember that.
It's all the union's fault. Thank you. Well, some of it is because they